Forget comic book superheroes. The real overpowered freaks are already here, walking, swimming, and casually ignoring the laws of physics like they didn't even read the memo. On this planet, right now, there's an animal that fires a blast so hot it almost matches the surface of the sun. Another one can regrow body parts like it has an unlimited repair budget. One tiny creature can survive conditions that would delete literally everything else. And one animal basically found the cheat code for biological immortality. Today on Fact Zoo, we're looking at nature's biggest rule breakers. Creatures so ridiculous they sound less like biology and more like a science teacher having a nervous breakdown. And trust me, the last one is so absurd it feels illegal. Stick around. First up, the pistol shrimp. And no, this is not some cute little shrimp with attitude. This thing is basically an underwater sniper with anger issues. It's tiny, just a few centimeters long. Looks harmless, like something you'd ignore in a tide pool. Big mistake. One of its claws is built like a biological weapon. When it snaps shut, it fires a jet of water at around 60 miles per hour. That sudden movement creates a pressure drop so extreme that the water actually boils for a split second, forming a cavitation bubble. And when that bubble collapses, it produces a shockwave louder than a gunshot, up to 218 decibels, underwater. That is not a claw. That is a tiny aquatic demolition device. But here's the part that sounds completely made up. When the bubble collapses, the temperature inside it can briefly reach around 4,700 degrees Celsius. That is nearly as hot as the surface of the sun. So yes, this shrimp is technically punching its enemies with sound, light, and a tiny burst of fake sunlight. Imagine being a small fish, minding your business, and then getting flashbanged by shrimp artillery. Absolutely disrespectful. Next, the axolotl, which looks like a smiling little cartoon mascot, until you realize it may be one of the most important animals in medical science. The axolotl is basically the king of regeneration. Lose a leg, it grows it back. No problem. Bones, muscles, nerves, blood vessels, the whole package. Like nothing ever happened. Most animals heal. The axolotl rebuilds. And it does not stop there. This thing can also regenerate parts of its spinal cord, its heart, and even sections of its brain. Its cells can go back into a stem cell-like state, then rebuild complex tissue with almost no scarring.
That's not healing. That's biological time travel with paperwork. Meanwhile, humans get one weird night of sleep and wake up like our neck has filed for divorce. Scientists study axolotls because if we can understand how they do this, it could completely change regenerative medicine. So yes, beneath that cute little face is a creature quietly flexing on every hospital on Earth. Now let's talk about the tardigrade, also known as the water bear, which is adorable until you find out it's basically the closest thing this planet has to an indestructible alien. Tardigrades are microscopic, chubby little creatures that look like someone designed a bear after getting zero sleep. But do not let that fool you. These things are absurdly hard to kill. Freeze them near absolute zero? Fine. Heat them to temperatures that sound like oven settings? Fine. Blast them with radiation thousands of times stronger than what would kill a human? Still fine. Throw them into the vacuum of space? Also fine. At this point, fine feels insulting. These things are thriving out of spite. When conditions get bad, tardigrades enter a state called cryptobiosis. They pull in their limbs, lose almost all the water in their body, and basically shut themselves down. Their metabolism drops to nearly zero, and they become this dry little survival capsule. Then, years later, or even decades later, you add water, and they just wake up and keep going. No dramatic speech, no revenge arc, no lesson learned. Just, anyway, back to business. The apocalypse could happen tomorrow, and somehow tardigrades would still be around on Wednesday, acting like nothing happened. And finally, the one that sounds the most fake of all, the immortal jellyfish. Its scientific name is Turritopsis dohrnii, which sounds like a Harry Potter spell, but it is very real. And this creature has done something biology usually does not allow. It found a way to hit reverse. When most animals get old, injured, or stressed, that's the end of the road. Not this jellyfish. When things go wrong, it can transform its adult cells back into an earlier life stage. Basically,
Instead of dying, it reverts into a younger version of itself. It goes from adult jellyfish back to polyp and starts life over again. That is like a grandparent turning back into a bilby because life got stressful. Scientists call this transdifferentiation.
I call it the most disrespectful thing ever done to mortality. Now, in the wild, these jellyfish can still get eaten or wiped out by disease, so they're not completely unkillable. But biologically, they may be able to repeat this cycle again and again. So yes, immortality exists. And of course, it belongs to a weird little jelly blob drifting around the ocean like it pays no taxes. Nature is full of creatures like this, animals that don't just survive, but absolutely humiliate the rest of us. A shrimp with a sonic cannon, a salamander that rebuilds itself like a living repair shop, a microscopic tank that can survive the end of the world, and a jellyfish that looked at death and said, "Nah, I'm gonna start over." Which one blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more wild animals, impossible biology, and creatures that make science sound fake, subscribe to Fact Zoo. Because trust me, this planet is way weirder than people think.